Andrew, it's your favorite time of year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Minnesota State Fair time. What?
Fucking A.
Yeah.
It is.
I,
Why am I so
yeah,
obsessed with the state fair?
literally, you just took the words right out of my mouth because I remember when I first met you and I was like, what? I mean, I get that people like the fair, but like you kind of like it at a different level.
Because you grew up with it. It's the same reason why I love Disney World, because as a child, I never had amusement parks or theme parks or Disney, never did any of that.
Yeah.
And now don't get me wrong. I am who I am today, and I've been blessed to have a really lucky career. Uh, because I never went to Walt Disney World until I was a parent, because my dad was like, "Why would you want to do that when you can go to European capitals and dine in great restaurants and go to museums and antique bookstores?" Or
Yeah.
shop at incredible places for clothes. Now, this was one of the benefits of having a set of gay parents, is that there was a whole different um, sort of thing that I had to learn. My father had to teach me about, like, uh, why Harry's Bar in Venice, and this is when I was like 14, and it was so important to him. Or going to shirt makers and custom suit makers in London, so that I could learn that there's a ratio between the lapel and the widest part of your tie that always has to be observed, or why a certain painting had to be viewed a certain way at a certain time of day after having a meal in a certain restaurant in a certain city. And that is literally the honest to God's truth, because you had to
Yeah.
eat at Rio Sostanza and then go to the Uffizi. And I mean, it was like, this sort of obsession with lifestyle that he had, and my stepdad. Um, I was given that incredible gift, but I never got the state fairs, and theme parks were something that my dad
Not
never
really
went
his
to,
not really
never,
his program.
not his program at all. So when I came here, I dove into it head, ass, and overcoat, and I just think it is the greatest show on earth. I can sit, and the way I go, and when I can, I go every single day. And some days I go and I'll eat one or two items and then just go right to the creative arts building, and then go up to the art building, then go up to the science building, and then get in the car and go home. And then the next day I will do just animal barns. And the next day I'll just do the grandstand um shop thing, where the guy's sitting there on the
Or
thing
it's
and he's
like
like,
it
"We're gonna
slices,
have
it
15
dices,
of
it
these glasses there,
yeah,
you'll never get thirsty again, it holds 800
yeah.
ounces, it refills itself, what do you have?" And there's a plant in the audience
So
who's like,
good.
"I need that, how much is it?" "It's 18.99, or 3 convenient payments, or 7.49."
That's my favorite.
Nothing
Love
like it
it.
in the world. I watched the same guy do the vegetable chopper thing
Uh-huh.
that they make salsa in. He
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's just like a
Yep.
couple of blades, like a hand crank. It's like the world's shittiest hand cranked Cuisinart.
Yeah.
And it has offset blades that are like whippy razors.
Yeah.
And you put a pepper and a jalapeno and some cilantro and onions and tomatoes, and now there's one that you hit
Yeah, the
that just
slap
spins
chopper.
it for you. And watching him do his shtick, or the best is the guy with the pans, because in his script, and I do it every year, I go and I stand there and I just look him right in the eye, and he can't help but say his speech, because it's the same every year. And at some point he says, you know, "This is the secret to the food of all those famous chefs you watch on TV." And I love just looking him right in the eye and just sitting there and nodding. And it is like, it's our little thing, because I stand behind the audience. I'm not going to blow it for him. And I just laugh. I literally giggle hysterically to myself. And the food's amazing and the rides are amazing. But the music, whether it's the Liney Lodge, doesn't have to be the grandstand, the big show every night. Diana
Hmm.
Ross is going to be there
Well,
this year.
the Beach Boys are going. That was my
The
first concert
the
at the
beach,
state fair.
and they're back again.
Mm-hmm.
But there's incredible, Liney's Lodge has, I don't know, like 1,500 people can sit there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a lot of friends of mine have come through and played there. I got to play Johnny Cash songs with my buddy Garrett G Love 4 years ago there. I mean, it's like there's just incredible stuff. And I believe uh because we're recording this right before it starts.
Yes.
But aren't my buddies Portugal the Man coming to play as well?
Yes, they are.
Are
They
they at the
are.
end or at the beginning?
I don't know. I'll tell you. You want me to look?
Yeah, you might as well. But
Okay.
and I do start. This is true. No one believes me, except the people who I bump into each day, and there's only like 10 of them because I go every morning and I start the day at Speedy's old hot foot long stand at the corner of Carnes and Nelson, and I start my day
Saturday.
with a foot
Sorry.
long. This coming Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Yep.
not going to be here. That's a crusher. So yeah, this is that's how I start my day every day with a foot long. His daughter Nancy, who I think is his youngest, now runs the booth. And there's a big life-size picture of me eating a hot dog
True.
there. I mean, that's how I start my every day. And
I
they
mean,
they
I'm
have
into
the
it.
hot dogs. It's 100-year-old recipe from New Ulm that they only use during the state fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's the thing I didn't quite realize is that I kind of thought, I don't know, because fair food is not my favorite food because I've got a sensitive little body and everything makes me sick. But I didn't realize that it was, like when you go to a baseball game, how it's all the same food, but just sold different places.
Yeah.
That's not how this is.
At
It's not
all.
like, no, but it's hard to know that
Unless you go
necessarily.
every year all the time.
It was true.
The
Yeah.
the the other thing that's, well, the people who run the state fair take a lot of shit every year because everyone's got a complaint and has a way to run it better, but they have a thankless job and do an incredible, I mean, in the main, it is organized so well.
Yeah.
There's not like duplicate booths. I mean, obviously, you need to have 4 or 5 places to buy a Pronto Pup. You need to have four or
Correct.
five places to buy ice cream and stuff because otherwise the lines would be too long. But they've just done such an incredible job of organizing it. And as someone who has been to as many states fair as I've been lucky enough to attend that are supposedly in the conversation for best in the
Mm-hmm.
country, they don't even come close to ours. We have the best food, the best entertainment, the best schedule to put it over 12 days. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Texas, like 800. I mean, the Texas State Fair is
Oh,
literally 11 months long. It's
oh, well,
terrible.
that's not a fair.
And the
That's
whole
like
thing's
a,
behind hurricane fencing, and they really, and a friend of mine is the one who's responsible for profligating this huge popularity in a certain style of food that's become popular there, with a taco wrapped in a pizza, deep fried, floating on a milkshake in a bucket, in a bathtub, comes with a kid, and it's not my thing. But the
mm-mm.
3-4 ingredient pieces of perfection that are the Minnesota State Fair, whether it's the Gizmo, Cine Minis, the footlong, the cheese curds, and hundreds of other foods. Sausages by Cynthia, her jerk. I mean, booths have secret items. Secret items. I'm very stunned. This year will be the year that I sadly will be there. I think only 2 days of the entire state fair run.
How are you gonna mentally handle that? And like, how, I don't understand how you're gonna
Yeah,
do it.
not well. This is not going to be a good week for me.
I looked at your calendar for your one day there and thought, that sounds fun.
Yep, yep. But I'm going to squeeze it all in.
Yeah. Yes, you will. What's your
That's
first? Well, I can know what your first food is, but what are you most
I
excited?
will be there at 8 a.m. and I will have a foot long.
Yep.
There are this year, unlike the last 2 years, I think have been the worst years for new fair foods. And don't come at me with like, oh, this one item was good. I'm talking about like you need to have many items be good from the new ones. But this year
Hmm.
looks pretty promising. There's a lot of items that are not just made up shit on a stick. I mean, I'll give you an example,
Okay.
and I mean that, and I'm sorry, this is just my opinion. So who am I to judge? Just I'm one guy, so don't put anything but But like one year they did that thing with the spaghetti and meatballs on a stick, where it was spaghetti and sauce with it inside a thin-skinned meatball on a stick, and then they like
Deep fried
roasted it
it
in the
or
oven, yeah, or something, and then dipped it in marinara sauce and gave it to you. And the whole thing fell apart, and it was bad pasta with bad sauce and cheap gross meat and bad sauce that wasn't homemade. And I was like, this is
yeah.
awful. But by the same token, if you go up to like the Gizmo stand, it's homemade Italian sausage according to the recipe with real onions. They have a tilt skillet in the booth. They brown the meat and the hamburger meat, add sauce, homemade, cook it down, and then put this Italian chili into a toasted bun, cover it with mozzarella cheese so it goes over the edges of the bun to hold it together, and put it underneath the broiler, and then hand it to you.
Hmm.
Homemade cinnamon rolls that are this small at City Minis. You've had those.
I
We've
sure
eaten them
have.
together.
I've had
I
both
mean,
those things.
they're heaven. They're
Hmm.
heaven. So there are, and with real butter, and they're making them in a glass window in front of you, so you see it. So as for all the bad stuff, there's 2 or 3 great items. But do you have the list in front of you?
Oh yeah, the new stuff. I do. You want me to
Because there
read the
was
whole
some.
list?
Well, just go item by item, and we'll just
Okay.
stop at the ones that I think have the
Okay.
promise.
They have the all quacked up fried farm fresh duck egg from Gray's Farm in Faribault, a top shaved smoked ham, aged cheddar cheese, tomato, spinach, open faced, sourdough, paprika
Sounds
aioli.
like sounds like a nice sandwich, but not very fairish. But I'll
See,
try
that
it.
is, I'm with you on that. I would
I'll
order that at
try
a
it.
restaurant.
Well, no, because some people go to the places where it's a sit down thing. I mean,
Oh
if the
yeah.
whole thing is wrapped up in aluminum foil, so what's the point? But like those ingredients sound good. It's just like I'd rather have that for brunch at your house than at the state fair. But continue.
Exactly. But it could be good. There's an arepa thing, pulled
Sounds
pork,
great.
the
See, but
queen, and a vegan one.
arepas.
Yes.
I mean, just on the surface of it, I've always wondered why there hasn't been a bigger empanada sort of stand,
Yeah.
right? Or because it's handheld, they can be the right size. What else is there?
There is a hummus bowl, birthday cake paleta. My kids would eat that. Breakfast gnocchi from Blue Barn. I have to say, I kind of do like the Blue Barn.
They come up with good items all the time, and because they're the ones making it, I will probably check it out. And by
Yep.
the way, gnocchi with a fried egg and bacon crumbles is delicious. I mean,
It's
that's the
topped with a scrambled egg. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
That
know
seems
either.
like it. That sounds. Why wouldn't you do gnocchi, which is potatoes,
Right.
okay, and do them, or a gnocchi parisien, which is with flour and potatoes, and you can brown it in a pan, and then put fresh crumbled bacon and a fried egg on top. I'd eat that every day for breakfast. That sounds
Totally.
good.
Sounds good. They've got hot honey chicken and sausage kebabs,
There you go. Sure.
celebration cake on a stick. So it's like a cake on a stick that says something like mom heart. I don't know.
Was
Okay.
that was that going to be a mom joke?
I don't know. It could be.
All right.
chicken chicken Swiss sausage. So a chicken sausage.
Yeah, but if you don't say the word, if you don't spell it properly, you don't have to use real chicken. So I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I am agreeing with you on that. Okay, Holy Land is doing chicken tandoori rolls. Handheld, which
There
is
you go.
great.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep.
Okay, Tejas Express is doing chilaquiles breakfast in like a
Love
little
it.
boat thing. That
Yep.
seems up my alley.
Sounds
The
great.
Concha bacon burger. I thought that was a bad word, a naughty word in Spanish, but maybe it isn't.
Like if someone looks at someone other's concha.
I don't know. I feel like I should not have said anything. Okay.
What does concha mean
Well, I'll
in
tell you what it means in the context
Espanol?
of this. All beef patty with raspberry aioli, lettuce, pepper jack cheese, pickled jalapenos, and bacon, served on a concha, a traditional Mexican sweetbread roll.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that was just
Probably in the shape of a shell, or
yes, yes,
yes, I know the roll by another name.
yeah.
But if you had, well, I'm not going to say it, it'd be inappropriate.
Okay, great. Moving on. Cotton
But
candy
if
float.
if you do eat some concha at the state fair, let me know about it.
I will. I will.
Okay, there you go.
Oh my God. Cotton candy float. Cotton candy soda poured over Kemp's vanilla ice cream and topped with cotton candy.
All right, now here's why I'm going to reserve I will have to try it first, because the one item in the last 5 years that I thought was a for sure fail was when something called a rainbow roll
Yes.
showed up here, and it was a huge thing of cotton candy that they press into a giant square, like 12 by 12, and they put sherbet and ice cream down the middle, sprinkle it with fruity pebbles, and roll it up tight and seal the ends like a burrito. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's just sweet on sweet on sweet. It's not going to work. It turned out it works really well. I also thought the science of it, I said the ice cream is going to melt, and then the cotton candy is going to get these little holes, and the whole thing will fall apart in your hand like a sticky mess. But it did not. And I ate it on a very hot day. And I've shared one with someone each year since, because the whole point of the fair is to try as many foods as you can. So you have to go with 4 or 5 people.
Yes, that is a good tip. If you don't, you're screwing yourself. You don't get to try that many things, or you'll get too full too early.
Or you do what I do, which is really super, super funny, is you walk up to a complete stranger and you say, hey, are those French fries? And they say, yes. And, they got the big giant movie bucket of French fries from the French fry booth. And I say, I've never tried them, or I don't have any money. Can I have some? And I do this, and they're like, they look at you strange, but they hold it out to you, because everyone in Minnesota is super nice. And because it's easy to give away a couple French fries to a stranger.
Totally.
But when someone is eating an ice cream cone and you say, I have no money, I've never tried ice cream. What's it like? And they're like, this is pretty good. And I'm like, oh, I don't have any money. Can I have a bite? It's their ice cream. I've had people who are just like, keep it, because like they don't want someone to take. I'm not really.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't share dairy products. That's kind of a weird one.
Right, but it's super funny, and those are the things I do at the fair that keep me occupied and laughing. Don't act like you're a superior person, because one of the things that we're going to put out over the course of the fair thing is something you developed many years ago, which is the state fair. What do you call those contests where there's a list of things that you have to find?
Oh, like a scavenger hunt?
Scavenger hunt.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I try to. I mean, the problem is
you designed one a decade ago that may not be, shall we say, politically correct today.
But this is the thing, is that I love doing those, but you can't. The ones that are fun to do are not the ones that you can be associated with as a brand.
We may have to take that down.
Yes. I'm just being real.
But look,
here.
It's like other high art.
Yes.
All in the Family, or well, I mean, most famously, The Office. They asked Steve Carell, how come you guys aren't going to reboot The Office or do a 2-hour Office special for Christmas, or something that all other shows that are as big a franchise as The Office, as beloved as The Office, why don't you do that? And he said very simply, 90% of the stuff that people laughed at, you couldn't say today and it wouldn't make it past the network. And
Right.
there was no swear words or anything. It's just
No.
like, you can't make fun of someone these days without being pilloried on social media. So
Right.
hence we made fun of a lot of archetypes
Yes.
in our scavenger hunt.
Yes. Sprinkled in with like a baby farm animal and
That's right. That's
but
right.
but
A
then
hot
there's
dog.
like child on a leash.
That's right.
That's not a bad one, but
No, but we have some really bad ones.
I'm sure. I don't know.
That we've laughed about a lot. And by the way, in its prime, a lot of people were doing, because I would go out to the state fair and people would be like, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? Because you put a picture with me
Yes.
on the scavenger hunt. Because I was
Sorry.
going every day and it was so funny. So people would be running up to me every day with a printout of our scavenger hunt because we gave a prize. And
Mhm.
one of the things on the scavenger hunt was get a picture taken with Andrew Zimmern. And it was hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till some of you're like, I'm done with this. I'm just
Oh, it's
trying
so great. So great. We have to figure out, we should take a look at it and see if we can sanitize it, but still have it be fun.
Oh, I'm a parent now. That's all I do.
Sanitize everything and find a way for it still to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of like a child's butt.
Exactly.
Let's get a wipe, do the best job we can, but we're
Yeah.
still going to stay. What's the
Yes.
item? Let's cut to the chase. If you scan through that, what's the item you're most looking forward to?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I kind of just like the classics. Ooh, mini hot smoked rib tips and Nashville hot sauce. I don't know.
No. See,
It's
this is the other thing. People try to capitalize on super trendy shit, and it's good for like a year, and then like, what's the point? Because it's gone. And then people try to do really stupid shit. Like someone tried a couple years ago. Do you remember they did like sushi or crudo or like some raw fish thing, and it's like it's 90 degrees in the sun and people are hammered and it's like the world's biggest carnival and you're trying to market you're trying to market pristine raw fish.
right.
It was
No.
like they also tried, then there was the year that everyone went super healthy.
Yep.
Before they realized that nobody went to the fair to have a salad, but they sold those shitty wooden skewers, the crappy ones, and they put grape tomatoes and the little mini mozzarella balls and then put a basil leaf on the top, and it just there was no it was just a really bad idea. If you put a tomato mozzarella salad, like caprese salad, in a bowl, like a bread bowl or something, you would have been able to sell more. Because I remember walking up to see what it was and they were handing them out and I was just turned around and I was like, nope.
No.
But that hummus booth, the new hummus booth from last year, was really, really, really good.
I didn't go last year.
Oh, it was that was one of my favorite new things of last year, because they gave you a bowl with hummus filled with all kinds of other stuff like olives and feta cheese cubes and tomatoes and a piece of pita, hot pita, and you were just like, oh my God, this is delicious. And it was vegan or whatever. It was just like, it was great. They had like 8 different hummus bowls. And I thought, okay, that's great food. Do you want to know what I wish was there? That would be
Tell me.
I'll just give you a couple freebies.
Okay. And I found my picks too.
Well, what's your pick first? Then I'll tell you what I wish.
It's a three-way tie between the tot dog, which is a hot dog dipped in corn dog batter with minced tater tots and stuff. There's also a turmeric ginger lemon drink at West Indies Soul, and then there's pickle pizza.
I saw all of those, and I am looking forward to trying them all. The tot dog was the one for me that I thought, okay, that could be the hit new item.
Yeah.
But, and again, apologies to the one local chain that offers this product.
Okay.
But I think they could a little bit. Successful street food items from around the world are successful street food items from around the world for a reason. And people go to those countries to have that food, right? So if you can go down that route, right? And you can do like an Argentine churrasca, or the the South American parrillada experience, and just do like beef ribs, right?
Yep.
Like something that is super successful somewhere else where you get one and it's just amazing. I think you would sell out. Down on the other end of the price point, just a great souvlaki. I mean, we made them the other day at my house, and it got me on a souvlaki run, and now I've been making it I've made it 3 times since I've seen you last. And that was just like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And I just like, I realized how great like a real souvlaki is, with lamb or pork in a fresh piece of pita with just tomato and onions and a nice little sauce. Eat. It's like the perfect kind of fair food, and grilled in front of you, so you smell all of that stuff grilling. I think those are like super big hits. The Japanese fish ice cream cone thing.
Yeah, like the waffly thing.
Yeah, I mean, like stuff that is, people line up to do it, that should be done. There's all those handhelds. Every empanada style thing in every country has one.
Yep.
Should be done. And you wind up with people who are like, oh, I'm going to do like takoyaki, those little octopus balls that are, where the thing. It's like, Minnesotans don't want that. It doesn't matter. We want the only thing small and circular we want are mini donuts, right?
Or maybe Swedish meatballs.
Or yeah, but even like the Swedish meatball thing, no one's been able to figure that out, because it's not very interesting for. It's great at Christmas Eve dinner at grandma's, but it's not great at the state fair. So I think if we look at grilled meat and other on the stick traditions from other countries, there is much success to be mined from those types of places. And I think it would be very, very, very super successful.
All right. Well, hopefully someone's listening.
Are we going to are you coming with me on the 1st?
I don't know. Am I invited?
Well, that was a loaded question. The answer is yes, because you have like 4 or 5 media appearances, and we're going to take pictures, and we're going to do a whole thing, because your technical, your title is
is state fair bitch.
Well, that too. That's what people call you behind your back at the office. I meant you're the director of communications.
That's right.
You have to be there, because I'm spending the day communicating out at the state fair.
Yes. Kind of make sure you
look for me. We'll be out there. Molly and I will be out there on the 1st. Come say hi. We should put ourselves in the scavenger hunt, a picture with Molly and Andrew. We'll be out there on the 1st.
Okay. All right. We'll see you there.
We're doing cool stuff, by the way.
Yes.
I don't want to ruin it for the local fan base in Minnesota who's going to come out and be surprised. But we're doing some fun things with some amazing, famous Minnesotans all day long out there.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess we'll see you at the fair. And
you will. And go fork yourself.
There you go.